Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lakora, you can call me Lee, and this is my Animal Crossing island, Pemberley. This is my Pride and Prejudice 2005 inspired island. This is our second build on this island. We are following right up from the entrance video, so if you haven't seen that video, go watch that, and then come back and watch this one, and we'll get started today. So we have this left section over here where my fake building was. Behind it, there's some more pathing, and we're following this road kind of up. I wanted to fill in this spot on the left and also put a little bit more on the right. But if you see back there, you'll realize that my Nook's Cranny is in the way. And not only is my Nook's Cranny in the way, my museum is actually right behind that. So that was bad planning on my part. But the first thing we're going to do today is move Nook's Cranny, and then we'll get started building. As I was coming around to resident services, Marshall was chilling on the plaza, and he had a thought bubble over his head that he wanted to leave Pemberley. Marshall's not one of my dreamies, so after a little bit of deliberation, I decided to tell him good luck with that and let him move off of Pemberley so that we can get some other villagers in here. Unfortunately, I was so caught up in building this that I skipped ahead a couple of days in this build and totally forgot about Marshall. So someone auto-filled. It's one of the goats, and I can't remember his name. I've never had him before, but he's green. I'll check back with that later and give you a name. But yeah, not a dreamie and not someone that I'm interested in having on this island, but that's okay. So I talked to Tom Nook about moving Nook's Cranny and had to run through all this dialogue because it was my first time moving a building on this island. And, you know, Tom Nook is a yapper, a certified yapper, and I just had to quickly run through this so that I could get the shop and move it. So again, we're working on this left side over here, moving these buildings, but before I go any further with that, I kind of want to talk about what I plan on building today. You probably already know by the title or the thumbnail, but I want to build the section in Pride and Prejudice, the little clip where Lydia and her mom, and I think Kitty, go to town and they see the regiment for the first time. And they're all giggly and they're laughing and, you know, they're just being girls. So I want to build that on this little section, kind of following the path and making it. I got these really cool codes for the coats of the regiment, and I'm really excited to use them. So that's what we're gonna do today. And if you haven't seen Pride and Prejudice before and you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is the clip. I love this part of the movie. I just think Mrs. Bennet giggling with her daughters over cute guys is, I don't know, that's just girlhood. So here is me realizing that my museum is not upgraded. So if you don't know, if you don't have the first upgrade of the museum where it turns into the big gray kind of monumental building that it is, if you haven't done that, you can't move it yet. So I realized that as I was getting ready to start building. So we quickly go and upgrade that. I skip all of my treasure island hunting just to save you all from having to watch that, and I grabbed some bugs and some fish and I donated them, and then I moved the museum. Also, my flyover is looking so scarce, like it looks bare to me, so I'm definitely gonna go through at some point and just spruce up the streets because they're a little bare. I know I have like the bare bones of my builds currently because I just don't have as many items as I wish that I had. Going back and forth to Treasure Islands is like the bane of my existence, but I know it has to be done. So maybe I'll make a video out of doing that, just like adding little pieces to bring these builds to life. Let me know if you guys would be interested in something like that later on. So, like I said, I do end up moving the museum, but just not yet. I wanted to come back and kind of extend this pathing so that I know how much space I'm working with and where my walkthrough of the regiment is going to go. So while I'm doing this, I guess I will just chat with you all. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a good week. I am recording this on a Monday night. I've actually had this footage for a second, but I just haven't got around to doing my voiceover for it, so I'm doing that now on Monday. But yeah, this weekend I did not get up to literally anything. I stayed around the house, and my fiance and I think we went out to eat on Saturday, and that was about all that we did, but it ended up being really good. We've had some bad weather. I live on the East Coast, so we've had some bad weather kind of like in the Midwest that's coming our way. So it's just kind of put a damper on things, and I haven't really wanted to go anywhere because of that. I'm not a fan of this time of year for many reasons. I am a fall winter gal, but one of the main reasons why I don't like this time of year is the weather is so crazy and just all over the place. So you'll see there that I took a small break to randomly add some terraforming to the back. I don't know what happens in these videos sometimes. I just hit record and then I end up hoping that I get footage that is worth making a video out of. But here we are. I'm finally placing down some items. I wanted to close off this side, so my idea for this build was to make the street surrounded by buildings. So it's just like this small little strip that the regiment are walking down, and it's surrounded by buildings on both sides. So I put some storefronts on this side, and on the other side I'm going to make another, you guessed it, fake building, but I'm going to add a few more items this time just so that the street looks crowded and busy and like there's a lot going on. I add a castle wall here to round off my building side, and then I end up putting a phone box in front of it because it needed a little space filler, and that fit really nicely in this area. After I put my phone box down, I grab a covered counter in the dark wood variation, and I kind of wanted like maybe these are shops that have a little bit of they have some items out, and you know they're trying to get people to look at them. So I put 2 covered counters down at some point. I haven't done it yet, but I do that, and then I put a few items on top to make it look more realistic. I really wanted to use this marketplace decoration somewhere because I've never used it in one of my builds before, and it just felt like it fit the area, and the design on it kind of, I don't know, it felt like it matched a little bit to me with the code that I'm going to use for the regiment code. So you'll see me fiddle with this for a little bit, and I move it a ton of different places before deciding on where I actually want it. On this left side, I put in 2 storefronts to start yet another fake building, and then I added the evergreen ash for a little bit more plant life. And here I finally start putting down my regiment codes. These are a code that I got from a creator. I will put their information down in the description below, but these are perfect. They're chef's kiss. They're just so good, and I really appreciate the creator for taking the time to make this code and upload it. But I'm using them as mannequin displays, so you can put a code down as a mannequin and you can move them around, and it just works really well for this build, I think. And then I accidentally put it on myself. So I get my regiment down, and they are marching through this town square. I don't know, this just, it's just so good. I really enjoyed building this, and I was so excited when I was doing it. So you see me put that marketplace decoration back and also a covered wagon just to fill this space over here. It's really hard to, I think, close in a section, especially because I'm working so close to my beach. I definitely struggled a little bit with this, but I think it turns out okay in the end. Here I am messing with that covered counter again, trying to get the placement right, and then I really wanted to use this fortune cookie cart somewhere. I thought it added a little bit of whimsy to the area because it has that nice like orange and yellow top to it, but I end up actually putting it on this left side and it goes a lot better there than it did on the right. So I end up coming back and adding that second covered counter that I mentioned earlier, and I thought I was going to use this reception item in the middle, but I end up just pulling these two covered counters apart to kind of make it look like the entrance to the store is in between them. Moving on, I put some strapped books down on one of these, and then I come over to the other side and I put down the antique radio. I think it's so cute because when you walk through this section, it's playing music, which I don't know, I really liked, so I put it down. I paused for a minute here to talk to our resident Mr. Wickham, Shep. I realized I hadn't been talking to my villagers because I've been focused on building, so I did that and then got back to work. I suddenly had the idea over here, so I downloaded these codes when I was code shopping for this island, and I will put the creators' information in the description below, but they made these awesome dresses inspired by different parts of the movie. So this one's as far as the eye can see, because that's what Lydia says to Mrs. Bennet when she's talking about the regiment. She's like, officers as far as the eye can see. So I just thought it was really fitting to put that here because Lydia watches the regiment come through, so why not put her dress here as if she's there? And I just thought it was so cute and I really liked it in the end. I sped up this last little bit just because it takes me a second to build this fake building again, and I mess around with the structure of it. This time I used two of the pergolas with the vines on the top. They're the brown version with the green vines on top. I thought that looked really good here, so I put two of those behind these fake buildings and then just kind of fill out the space. I really have no idea how many fake buildings this island is gonna take. I'm actually a little scared to think about it. If you remember me talking in my first video, I really don't like these, so I have no idea why I'm doing a towncore island, but I mean, it's whatever. So I finished up here by boxing in the back of this fake building with some castle walls. And what I actually decided to do is close off this left corner completely with some medieval building sides just to make the beach inaccessible. I don't think I'm going to decorate my beaches at all. I think I'll just make them kind of, you know, we'll just pretend like they're not there. And I had to push my little friend out of the way because I needed to put this castle tower in, but he was very nice about it. I realized I didn't have one in my bag that was in the gray color to match that other medieval building side, so I run and get that, put the castle tower in, and then I finish it off by adding the nuptial bell just to fill out this little space. After finally putting that down, I do a few minor adjustments to these items on the right, the covered wagon, and my evergreen ash, and then we wrap up the build. But before I do like a final walkthrough, I was going past the antique radio that's on the side, and it was playing kind of like a little, I don't know, like monarchy, like that's probably the wrong word to say, but it was playing a little tune, so I'm gonna put that in here and let you guys hear it. Very cute. So with that, that is it for this episode of my Animal Crossing Island Pemberley. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope that you all did too. Leave me a like or a comment and subscribe so that you don't miss anything else on this channel. I'll see you guys later. Bye!